Good morning, students. Sorry that I'm out today, but I wanted to go over just briefly what you're going to be doing in class today. As you see here on the PDF, this is 71, page 71 for me, but this is the page you can see from yours. I'm not exactly sure what you have it labeled as, 70 or 71, maybe even 72. But let's take a quick look at this. Here from tables, how to find your slope and how to find your y-intercept. That's what needs to be here. Find slope and find y-intercept. All right, and the way that we're going to do that from a table is very simple. To find the slope, we're going to use our slope formula, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So that should look like 7 minus 4 divided by 2 minus 1, and that will give us 3 over 1, or a slope of 1. And so I can put that in. Now to find the y-intercept, I can do that one of two ways. I can work my way backward from the table. So I see that the change of y here is 3. From 4 to 7 is 3, 7 to 10 is 3, 10 to 13 is 3. And the change of x from 1 to 2 is 1, from 2 to 3 is 1, from 3 to 4 is 1. So I recognize if I go back to 0, when x is 0, that's when I have my y-intercept. I know that my y will be 1. So my equation here is going to be y equals 3x plus 1. Again, that's y equals 3x plus 1. Come down here from two values, and this is a word problem. Example 1 says that the cost to manufacture 5 toys is $17.50. For 10 toys is $30. Construct a linear function. So we're going to simply use again the method of m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, and our points in this problem is going to be 5 is our x, and then our y is 1750, and then our second point is going to be 10 and 30. So again, our x is 5 and y is 1750, and for our second point, x is 10 and y is 30. So I can apply the y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, and that will be 30 minus 1750 divided by 10 minus 5. And that will give us our slope. And we can use one of those points to plug it back in, and with that slope find the y-intercept. Finally, here on the graph, we can find the slope and y-intercept by just looking. I know that this is a little difficult to see here, but there's the line, there's a line, and our y-intercept on a graph, we just simply look and say, hey, where does the line actually cross the y-intercept? We see that that is 1. And then our slope is rise over run, so we count up 1 over 2, or we can count up 2 over 4. Either way, that reduces down to 2. And of course, we can see that it's positive 2 because of the way that the slope of the line is going. So again, we're going to have y equals 2x plus 1 in that equation. I want you to do the following problems all the way through here, but this is the big reminder that I want us to kind of look over. I'm going to rotate my page real quick. Writing equations when we have a parallel line or we have a perpendicular line. Parallel lines are really easy. We're just going to find the slope, which is m, of course. In this equation, we have y equals 2x minus 3. And it says to write the equation of the line passing through the point 1, negative 1 that is parallel to the line of y equals 2x. Finding the slope of a parallel line is very simple. It's the exact same thing. So we know that the slope is going to be 2. Now all we have to do is actually plug in the point to find the y-intercept. So we're going to say that y equals mx plus b. And for y, we're going to plug in 1. For m, we plug in 2. For x, we plug in negative 1. and then we're going to put plus b. That's going to be what we're solving for. So 2 times -1 is going to give us -2. And so our new equation now is y equals -2 plus b. And then we're going to add 2 to both sides. And that's going to give us 3 equals b. So we know that this new line that is parallel to y equals 2x minus 3 is actually going to be y equals 2x plus 3. So that's going to be our new problem there. Here we have the same thing except we're using f of x, and as we know f of x is the same thing as y equals, and tells us write an equation of the line passing through the point -4, 2 that is parallel to the line f of x equals x plus 3. But here we know that our slope is 1, so we're going to take our points, and again y equals mx plus b. And so y is 2 in this equation, the slope is 1, and the x is -4. And then we're going to put plus b and solve for the b. So 1 times -4 is -4 equals 2. I'm sorry, 2 equals -4 plus b. And then because we have -4, we're going to add 4 to both sides. And that's going to be b equals 6. So our new equation is f of x equals x, or 1x, however you want to put that, plus 6. And so that will be our new perpendicular line. Is a little bit more complicated, but not that complicated. I'm going to make sure that I put some problems on IXL also so that you can review there as well. We're going to write an equation here of the line passing through the point 2, 3 that is perpendicular to the line y equals -2x plus 2. When two lines are parallel, they have the same slope. When they are perpendicular, they have the opposite inverse slope. So -2, if we're going to flip that and change the sign, that's going to change our slope to 1/2. So now that we have the slope of 1/2, we're going to plug in the points for 3 and 2, and we'll be able to find the y-intercept. So if I say 3 being our y, and again I'm plugging it into y equals mx plus b, 3 equals -2 times 2 plus b, because that's what we're solving for, is b. I apologize. 3 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b. And again, make sure you got that correct, because I changed that. 3 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b. So 1/2 times 2 is just 1. So 3 equals 1 plus b. And then if I subtract 1 from both sides, that's going to be 2 equals b. So my new equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 2. I hope this helps out, and you're going to do the same thing here. So our slope is 2. So again, that means that since it's perpendicular, it's going to be opposite inverse. So we flip it and change the sign. So now it's going to be -1/2. And we just plug in y equals mx plus b with our new point. And that is going to give us -1 equals -1/2 times 4 plus b. -1/2 times 4 is going to give us -2 plus b. And we're going to add 2 to both sides, and that's going to give us b equals 1. So our new equation is y equals -1/2 x plus 1. Apologize you can't see me doing work on this. I do not have a dock camera at home, or I would be happy to do that for you. But you're going to work again from that 71, that first page, all the way through these last 3 pages here. So that should be, as you see, it says 77 here, but you'll be able to see on yours what number it is. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a private message on Google Classroom, and I can help out. Other than that, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.